from Brady, why did the Reformers remove some books from the Bible? That's a loaded question. I have a friend who says one of them supports purgatory, and that's why. The importance of knowing our biblical history. Please do not be deceived by people who will tell you on the YouTube machine the Bible wasn't concocted until the 4th century. It was the Council of Nicaea that put those books together. Otherwise, the whole thing was a hash. That is not biblically, historically accurate. Inside of the 1st century, we know that the books that you and I have in our New Testament were the books that were recognized by the early church in the 1st century. Were they codified? Meaning, did somebody put a binding around them and go, that's it, stamp of approval? No, these books were assumed to be apostolic in authority in the 1st century. As time passes, which it does, and we sometimes fail to remember that when we're thinking about history, interlopers came along, some good books, some not so good, some claiming to be from Peter, others claiming to be from Paul, but were they really? That is why then in the 4th century the church went, there's just too many challengers coming in, causing a whole lot of confusion. Some of them weren't so terrible like the Didache, but some of them were heretical, and the church recognized we just have to codify this using a reed, 5 standards to determine these are the books that are in, to keep the others out. It wasn't as much about which ones are in, but blocking others out. However, history is not done. A fellow named Jerome commissioned to write a Latin version of the Bible using Greek and Hebrew. He translated it into Latin. Did he include the books that the Roman Catholic Church has in their canon today? And the answer is he translated them with a note saying, but these aren't actually the Bible. They can be profitable for understanding how people before us did things, but these are not inspired writ. That's from the Latin Vulgate. Fast forward, we enter into the Protestant Reformation. It is now the 16th century, and justification by faith alone, it is sweeping Western civilization. And the books that were recognized at that time were the same 27 that you have in your New Testament today. Why then does the Roman Catholic Church today have more, and did Protestants take them out? Historically, no, because they were never codified as being biblical. The apocryphal books, a collection of writings that were actually rejected early by the church, were now suddenly, courtesy of the Council of Trent in 1545, which took about 4 years to complete, they started to add those books to the canon. Protestants did not remove them. The Roman Catholic Church added them, and that is simply historical fact. Why did they do that? Well, men like Martin Luther, understanding justification by faith alone, recognized purgatory doesn't even make sense. If we are totally forgiven, imputed with Christ's righteousness, why do we have to go burn off our bad works or earn our way into paradise if it's already been earned for us? So he started looking through his New Testament and couldn't find a single verse that even comes close. I suppose you could argue 1 Corinthians 4, but that has more to do with works than it does salvation. There was no support for purgatory. So what did the Roman Catholic Church do? Find some books that do talk about it, and they added those to the canon in order to support their doctrines that had actually no biblical support. That's history. That's reality. Protestants did not take out books. It was the Roman Catholic Church in the middle of the 16th century who added them. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. For all of you Arminian passengers, you might think you have free will, but not on this flight. So let's put those seats in their upright and locked positions. And for all of my Calvinist passengers who believe in the sovereignty of God, He may ordain that you're going to crash today, but if you do, you're going to do it with your seatbelts on. So let's just buckle up.